Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti nasochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tadidam kararasanam
Adidam kararasanam
Jagat pasyanti suraya
Jagat Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti nasochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra yuyam apandita.
Tatra yuyam apandita
It is
Tadidam kararasanam
Tadidam kararasanam
Jagat Pashyanti Suraya
Jagat Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti Nasochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra Yuyam Apandita
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tadidam kararasanam
Tadidam kararasanam
Jagat Pachanti Suraya
Jagat Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti Nachochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra Yuyam Apandita
Tatra yuyam apandita
Moses.
Tadidam kalarasanam
Tadidam kararasanam
Jagat pasyanti suraya
Jagat Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti nasochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tadidam kalarasanam
Tadidam kararasanam
Jagat pasyanti suraya
Jagat Pashyanti suraya
Narishyanti nasochanti
Narishyanti nasochanti
Tatra yuyam apandita
Tatra yuyam apandita
That
Tat
therefore
Therefore
idam
Idam
this whole material world
This whole material world
karam rasanam
Kararasanam
is moving because of time eternal.
is moving because of time eternal.
Jagat
Jagat
moving forward.
moving forward.
This whole universe.
This whole universe.
Pashyanti
Pashyanti
observe. Suraya
Suraya
those who are intelligent by admission of the truth.
Those who are intelligent by admission of the truth.
Na
No
not.
Not
Rishyanti
Rishyanti
become jubilant.
become jubilant.
Na nor.
Nor
Sochanti
Shochanti
lament.
lament.
Tatra
Tatra
in such.
in such.
Yuyam all of you demigods.
All of you demigods.
Apandita
Apandita
not very learned.
Not very learned.
Having forgotten
Having forgotten
that you are working
that you are working
under eternal time.
under
under
eternal time.
Translation by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Seeing the movement of time, those who are cognizant of the real truth neither rejoice nor lament for different circumstances. Therefore, because you are jubilant due to your victory, you should be considered not very learned. Purport. Bali Maharaj knew that Indra, king of heaven, was extremely powerful, certainly more powerful than he himself. Nonetheless, Bali Maharaj challenged Indra by saying that Indra was not a very learned person. In Bhagavad Gita 2.11, Krishna rebuked Arjuna by saying, Asochan avasuntyatvam pragyam vadam chabasase gadasum agatasum cha nanu sochanti panditaha. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Thus, as Krishna challenged Arjuna by saying that he was not a pandita or a learned person, Bali Maharaj also challenged King Indra and his associates. In this material world, everything happens under the influence of time. Consequently, for a learned person who sees how things are taking place. There is no question of being worried or happy because of the waves of material nature. After all, since we are being carried away by these waves, what is the meaning of being jubilant or morose? One who is fully conversant with the waves, with the laws of nature, is never jubilant or morose because of nature's activities. In Bhagavad Gita 2.14, Krishna advises that one be tolerant. Tam Stitikshava Bharata. Following this advice of Krishna's, one should not be morose or unhappy because of circumstantial changes. This is a symptom of a devotee. A devotee carries out his duty in Krishna consciousness and is never unhappy in awkward circumstances. He has full faith that in such circumstances, Krishna protects his devotee. Therefore, a devotee never deviates from his prescribed duty of devotional service. The material qualities of jubilation and moroseness are present even in the demigods, who are very highly situated in the upper planetary system. Therefore, when one is undisturbed by the so-called favorable or unfavorable circumstances of this material world, he should be understood to be Brahma Bhuta, or self-realized. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 1854, Brahma Bhuta prasanatma nasuchati nakanchati. One who is transcendently situated at one realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. When one is undisturbed by material circumstances, he should be understood to be on the transcendental stage, above the reactions of the three modes of material nature. Hare Krishna. Tad idam kala rasanam jagat pashyanti suraya narishyanti nasochanti tatra yuyama pandita. Seeing the movements of time, those who are cognizant of the real truth neither rejoice nor lament for different circumstances. Therefore, because you are jubilant due to your victory, you should be considered not very learned. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Saksu Sumitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatam Dikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kachana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Yarevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pasavitale Shrimati Bhakti Sarvabhava Swamitinande Namo Sad Bhaktamanaye Manipur Bracha Prabhupada Sadvani Pracha Intelligente. So here is a very, let's say, profound verse. Of course, every verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam is profound, but this one is a very special one. And the purport is also very profound. And it deals with one of the most prominent subject matters as far as philosophy is concerned in whole humanity. The concept, it's not a concept, well, the idea or the concept of time, immemorial time. Actually, most philosophers have been philosophizing on the topic for time immemorial. And still, it is, let's say, a mystery to everyone. What is time? For us, devotees, aspiring devotees, we should surely say, who is time? Time is Krishna. Still, one of the very first words we pronounce every day when we go to Mankarati when we start Mangala is Samsara Dava Nala Dila Loka. Meaning, samsara is the cycle of birth and death. And it is related to time. That is to say, even for a devotee, aspiring devotee, we are thinking of time. Prabhupada here is definitely saying that for a devotee, time is a friend, and a devotee is not concerned or not so anxious about the waves of the material nature and the waves of time. Still, it's such an important fact in our everyday life. Even in our philosophy, time is present at every moment and in so many slokas. For instance, in Srimad Brahma Samhita, the very first verse is Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigra Nadiraya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. In this verse, Krishna is a supreme person. His body is Sachitananda, full of eternity, knowledge and bliss, and he is the cause of all causes. We speak of times at least 2 times. Sachitananda, when there is Sachitananda, we speak of Ananda, meaning the idea of eternity. Sarva Karana Karanam, causes of all causes, from time immemorial. So you see, our very basic philosophy is based on time. So even in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, time appears at the very beginning of the pastimes of Lord Krishna's pastimes, when there is Kamsa and Vasudeva and Devaki. The 3 of them are going towards Mathura on the chariot, and because Kamsa is playing the role of a driver for his sister, who is going to be married, who is being married actually, and for his step brother, yes, brother-in-law. And at some time there is a voice in the sky saying, Kamsa, what a fool you are! What a fool you are! You are going to die very soon, and you will die because Devaki will beget 1 child, and you will die because of this. The 8th child of Devaki, actually. So immediately, Kamsa becomes disturbed, to say the least. And he is already taking his weapon in order to kill Sister Devaki. But then Vasudeva, using as a normal person, we can say, and as a good husband, is trying to protect Devaki. And he is using arguments such as, you see, Kamsa, you have to die anyway. Time, you are under the influence of time. Since you are born, on the very first day you are born, the very first day you were born, immediately you started to die. So what is the use? You are going to be killed anyway by the influence of time. So what is the use? So hearing this, of course, this is I have to make it short. Hearing this, Kamsa is starting to speculate on time, and he says, okay. Let's see, you see, well, the 8th child of Devaki is going to kill me. So anyway, I have time. So Vasudeva is offering to me that he will present to me every child who is going to appear. Therefore, I should not bother so much about time. and I will take my time and see what is going on, and we'll see after. Of course, we know the rest of the story. But then, to make it short again, after Kamsa has really become more demoniac than he was, if it is possible, we can say. He has killed already seven children in Devaki's coming from Devaki, and the eighth one is going to appear. The eighth one is already in the womb of Devaki, and the demigods, they are appearing in the cell, in the prison where Devaki and Vasudeva are in prison actually, and the demigods, they are offering prayers to Mother Devaki, who has become so bright, so nice, because she is pregnant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the demigods, they are praying to Devaki and to Krishna, actually, as time personified. And the one who is actually solving all the difficulties in the world, because he is coming in due course of time. So now, this concept of time says it comes from time immemorial, and actually, Bhagavad Gita, in the introduction presented by Srila Prabhupada, is giving 5 concepts, or Srila Prabhupada is giving 5 ideas, which are most spoken about in Bhagavad Gita. The first one is Ishvara, Lord Krishna. The second one is Jiva, Jivatma, all selves, spirit souls. Third one is Prakriti, which contains actually the 3 modes, which includes the 3 modes of material nature, made of the 3 modes of material nature. The fourth one is Kala, eternal time, and the fifth one is Karma. Srila Prabhupada explains that the first 4 topics are actually eternal, permanent. And only the fifth one is not permanent, karma, which can be destroyed by the power of devotional service, by the power of that bhakti, if you are fully surrendered at the lotus feet of the spiritual master and at Sri Lord Krishna Govinda's lotus feet. But, so Kala is here, and by the power of Kala, Prakriti is manifested. At the very beginning of time, at the very beginning of creation, there is Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, who is in Samadhi, in the spiritual sky. Let's say, just imagine such a bright sky, effulgent sky. Why bright and effulgent? Because he is, as described in Brahma Samhita, is in illumination with hundreds and thousands, just like in illumination with hundreds and thousands of suns. And this brilliant, in this brilliant sky, actually spiritual sky, eternal spiritual sky, at some point there is a little cloud appearing. Then it grows. And this cloud is going to grow bigger and take, let's say, to the maximum 1/4 of the whole creation. And on this sky, on this cloud, Lord Vishnu will be in Samadhi. And so from the pores of Lord Vishnu, hundreds and thousands of universes will appear. And in each of these universes, actually, there is also another Vishnu who is going to appear, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, who is, and from Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, or in all universe, there will be the manifestation of the place where we live, actually. To say this, because actually this material world altogether is manifested by the influence of time, who is acting the three modes of material nature within Mahatattva. Mahatattva, which is at the very origin of the material creation. And Kala here takes the aspect of Shiva, who is the glance of Lord Vishnu, and who Lord Vishnu, who impregnates the material creation in order to make everything appear. Anyway, time appears also in the form of chakra, the wheel of time. Chakra who destroys and who also illuminates. Sudarshan, it means actually darshana, to see, and su means let's say positive or yes, positive seeing, illumination, spiritual illumination. So time in the form of chakra can destroy, but it can also give illumination. And we see in the material world, and we hope that with some experience, but as time goes by, we hope we are not going to make always the same mistakes. One day, there was a sage who was giving blessings to different categories of persons, people. And to a prince, the sage gave the blessing, live eternally. Why so? Because you are a prince, you're in a Raja family, and therefore you are very happy. You live in opulence, you have women, you have money, you can do what you want more or less. It's a very nice life for you. But when you are going to die, you are going to take all the reactions of what you've done, of your material pleasure, and therefore then you may suffer. So live forever and never die. Then there is another category of person, a butcher. The one who is taking pleasure, more or less, in killing poor innocent animals. And for the butcher, the sage said, never live and never die. Because your life is already so ugly. You live in hell, practically speaking, in blood all the day long, such a terrible, low atmosphere. And it's already miserable life. And when you are going to die, you cannot imagine the sum of reactions you are going to have. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that for each bite of meat, of cow meat for instance, we take, we are going to be killed. The number of life that there is comparing to air on the skin of the cow. You see, it's just incredible. Cannot imagine. Then for the third person, who is a brahmachari, renounced brahmachari, but really following, let's say, strictly the rules and regulations of Varnashram Dharma, the sage gives the following blessing: die immediately. Because you are in Sattva Gun, you are practicing spiritual life. Therefore, if you die immediately, there is no problem. You by your Guru's mercy and Lord Krishna's mercy, you may attain spiritual life for eternity. And for the devotee, the sage gives the following blessing: live or die, doesn't matter. Anyway, doesn't matter. Because you see, for you, you're already liberated. You live or you die, it has no importance. And this is actually the teaching of Lord Krishna in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in which actually Lord Krishna explains that for the sage it has no meaning to die or to live. We don't give so much importance. Because Lord Krishna has already explained in this chapter that you see, if you pass away in such a period of time, actually, when the moon in such a context in the sky, or when the moon is low or down or whatever, you are going to reach such a destination of place. Therefore, if you are yogi, you should really focus on the very precise moment you are going to pass away. Because in this way, you may attain the planet of your choice, and eventually spiritual planets. But the spiritualist, the devotee of the Lord, is not really concerned about this, because you see, he's fully surrendered in devotional service, and therefore he is not so much worried about this. And we see that actually for a devotee of Lord Krishna, even death can be sometimes a very, very, yes, it's always a very important fact, actually. Practically speaking, death is our terminal exam, actually. The very first day we appear on this planet, as we said before, we are starting to die. And therefore, practically speaking, we pass all our life to make sure that at the last moment, we are going to really pass the exam. And yes, maybe we could recall the story of a devotee who really is a Mahatma, such an inspiring devotee, who really is still an inspiration for so many devotees in ISKCON. There are many actually. But we can recall the last pastime of Indra Prabhu. You may know, some of you, what has happened to Indra Prabhu, who is really the king, the king of Bhajan, and really such a wonderful devotee. So Indra Prabhu was really actually, it's nice to hear stories about advanced and practically pure devotees, such like Indra Prabhu. And Indra Prabhu is, yes, definitely to what I can see in my poor eyes, a pure devotee. He was chanting 64 rounds a day, definitely, doing the Arctic, and spending his whole day, practically speaking, in Bhajan. He was Pujari on the altar. And one day he didn't come to dress the deities. It was in Vrindavan Dham, yes, in
2010.
In Krishna Balaram temple. So he didn't go to after Mangal Arati to dress their lordships. So the devotees went to see in his room what was going on, because it was not in his habit to miss such the opportunity to serve the Lord so intimately. So and Indra Prabhu had already left his body, and he was actually in samadhi definitely, and he was in the position of praying his prayers to his deities in his room. Because what happened? There was an accident, a heating accident. His heater didn't move or didn't work, so the fume had started to invade the room. Of course, Indra Prabhu tried to, because this is natural, he tried to save the body. He opened the door, it didn't work, I suppose. Tried to fix the system, didn't work. So he said, okay, time has come. Therefore, let's offer prayers to the Lordship Shri Gauranga, Nityananda and Gauranga. And he in Samadhi, offering obeisances to Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, he left his body like this. So you see, it's such an it comes to it's a subject of meditation for all of us. The example of one should die, and of course the example of Srila Prabhupada, who really at the last moment, till the last moment, he was giving instructions to his disciples, and we've seen on pictures or on videos how he was instructing his disciples, or although his body was in such a poor shape, still he did his duty till the end. So now, time is actually a characteristic of the material world. Yes, we live in time, and it's such a strange fact. It's not a natural situation for all of us, and we see that in the spiritual world there are Vaikuntha planets. Vaikuntha means Vaikuntha Loka, planets. Vaikuntha means without anxiety. And material world, in the opposite, is a world of anxiety. Because in the material world, we see that we are anxious because we think that maybe our time will come, and we are anxious because we suppose that we have not done our duty maybe, and because also we are afraid of death. But in the spiritual realm, the situation is that we are not conditioned by time, and it is said in Brahma Samhita, in the conclusion to the wonderful prayers given by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna, this wonderful verse, Shri Akanta Kanta, I sometimes don't remember, although I try to learn. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Shri Akanta Kanta Parama Purusha Kalpataravo Dhruva Bhumi Chintamani Kamanito Yamamritam Kata Aganam Natyam Gamatamam Sivam Sipriya Shaki Shitanandi Jotam Param Tatvazadhyam Apicha Kata Aganam Natyam Gamanamam Sipriya Shaki Shitananda Chatam Aita Tatvadhyam Apicha Pajesve Tavitam Tamiyam Golokam Idiyam Vidandaste Chantakshiti Viracharakati Paye. So here, in this full verse, there is the one who is the most important, Nime Sada Kyo Vabrajati Nahi Yatrapi Samaya, which means in the spiritual world, there is not even for one moment the influence of time. That is to say, we live forever, and we are subject not to disease, or to death, and of course to the passing away of age. There is, and this is why we are happy in the spiritual world. For us, it's a little inconceivable. It's a little far out, we can say. And it may take for us, at least for me, some time to realize how is it possible to live in such a situation. Still, this is the supreme destination, and we should meditate, and we should hope to live one day, hopefully at the end of this lifetime, in this situation. And for this, what is the device? What is the meaning? Kantamali chamam evam smaran mufa kalivaram. At the moment of death, think of Lord Krishna. Yam yam api smaran maram tyajati ante kalevaram. Because the thinking, your thought at the time of death will determine your next birth. So if we think of Krishna all the time, then definitely we hopefully are going to reach the spiritual realm forever. Yes, because we are not, we think we are happy, but we really don't realize how miserable is the situation in the material world. Actually, when we are young, everything is okay. You're young, your body is quite strong, well, you can do many things. But as age is coming, you realize how things are becoming difficult. At least, if you have practiced Krishna consciousness for some time, you realize few things. But the body is not following. And definitely, we really feel that it is becoming difficult. Such a nice novelist, writer, poet, Victor Hugo, is saying in French, la vieillesse est un naufrage. That is to say, getting old is like a shipwreck. It's a calamity. When we are young, we don't realize, but when we grow old, we may realize, and it's becoming. And we see nowadays that people they try to hide the thing, but they cannot hide forever. They try to make all kind of experiments to try to get new body, but they are not going, because you cannot define or challenge the power of time. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter, time I am, destroyer of the world. Time is Krishna, and therefore you cannot challenge Krishna. You cannot challenge. You can challenge Krishna for some times, but at the end, Krishna say, okay, boy, no, you've played a little boy, you play like a little boy or a little girl in the kindergarten, in the playing field. Okay, now the game is over. You have to pass away and have another body. And even for this, even Krishna doesn't bother so much. Krishna is eternally in the spiritual world. He doesn't take charge of these things. Krishna is so happy. Venam kain vantam aravindam. He's just playing the flute in the spiritual sky. He doesn't bother so much about this. He delegates to material nature to deal with us. But anyway, all this to make sure that we be aware that time passes so fast, that you realize when you are 20 one day, 10 years after you haven't realized even, you are 30 already, and after 30, then time passes so fast. One friend, a lawyer, I had a discussion with him sometimes, and he said to me, "You see, Christian," this is my name. you see, Christian, after 30, you will realize what it is, and after 40, oh my God, in years pass like anything. You don't realize you're 40 already. After 10 years pass like anything. So do what you have to do right now when you are young, because time passes so fast. So anyway, for the devotee, we do our duty, and we pray at Lord Krishna that actually by doing our service to Lord Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. And there is this conversation between Prabhupada and one journalist. One journalist was asking Srila Prabhupada, "Oh, Swamiji, your grace, how many devotees are there in your movement?" 100 devotees, it was at the beginning, maybe. But they are all pure devotees. How many pure devotees do you have in your movement, Swamiji? Yes, we have 200 pure devotees. Yes. So as long as you are situated at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, at your Gurudev's lotus feet, at Lord Krishna's lotus feet, definitely we are pure devotees, as Srila Prabhupada says, and we never challenge Srila Prabhupada's authority, because the sadhu is speaking the truth. And therefore, hopefully, by his grace and by thinking of Krishna, hopefully we go back home, back to God. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Questions or comments? Such a verse.
Yes, important.
Hare Krishna. So, we shall read the verse again. Seeing the movements of time, those who are cognizant of the real truth, seeing the movement of times, those who are cognizant of the real truth, neither rejoice nor lament for different circumstances. Therefore, because you are jubilant due to your victory, you should be considered not very learned. Hare Krishna. Yes, the one who is really lamenting is not very advanced. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class of time. You kept time. Thank you so much. I was wondering, with time in our devotional practice, how our devotional practice is evolving through our life, because when we're young we can do more things than when we are getting older, externally at least. So how devotional practice still continues, and what are we supposed to do to prepare and to adjust in our devotional life to keep steady in Krishna consciousness?
Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, as our movement is called Krishna consciousness. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, actually. Krishna consciousness, Krishna Chaitanya. So it's a matter of consciousness. Definitely it's a matter of consciousness. Always think of me, become my devotee, Bhava Mad Bhakto, Mamiyaji Mamnamaskuru. Then you will come to me. I tell you this because you are my very dear friend. Says Lord Krishna to Arjuna, 1865, Bhagavad Gita. So yes, it's a question of consciousness. Krishna puts us in circumstances so that we always think of him. So it's a question of consciousness. We, according to the situation, we have to think of Krishna. According to the situation, we have to take what Krishna gives us. We have to make the best use of a bad bargain. So you see, when the body is young, still you can run, you can do so many things, but because you are you are generally more in passion, generally. Therefore, you can hurt yourself also more easily. When you grow old, you may not have the same tendency to run. So therefore, you may not be so you may not have so many accidents, but still the disease comes also. So, but we have to make use of the best use of a bad bargain, and take what Krishna gives us to serve him. And actually, there is one point there is one link which can be made between time and the three modes of material nature. When we live in the present situation and take the situation as it is in order to serve Lord Krishna, this is considered to be on the platform of Sattva Guna. When we think too much of the past is already dead. Past is already dead, and it will never come back. Never. Whatever we may have pictures or whatever, it will never come back. So therefore, past is when we see too much about the past, it is tamoguna. And when we are anchoring too much on what is going to happen tomorrow, this is rajaguna. So we have to take the situation as it is, with full Krishna consciousness, and that's it. And that's it. With full consciousness, Krishna consciousness means consciousness about the Lord, and therefore, hopefully, we have to adjust according to times and circumstances. We have to be a kind of philosophical mind, philosophical brain, and we hope that with practice of devotional service, we reach such a stage, at least for some time. Did I answer your question, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much. All glories to the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru Parampara. All glories to Sri Srila Paishishva, Sri Jagannath Baladev Swaradevi, Nitai Sashita Goranita. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Grace Bhavasindhu Prabhu ki
Jai.